So I had this thought about the Epic, and one of the things that is a huge part of the story is the idea that man is under a curse, and all of the Nephilim are under a curse. And what is it like to live under a curse? I don't know what it would be like if I was Ren and I actually lived under knowing that prophecy, righteous prophecy, told that my people, who my people were destined to be wiped out because they had caused so much destruction and chaos and death in the universe, in the world. And that's kind of the case where Ren is at. He's in this position where the Nephilim, where he's brought from, the blood that he comes from, is tainted blood. It's the blood that was used to rebel against God and rebel against his creation, to destroy his creation. So what does Rin do with that? How does he cope with that? I don't know. All I can say is a lot of people in our world feel like that. They feel like they're cursed. They feel like where they come from is cursed. They feel like where they come from is not good enough, that they can't be redeemed by God. There's a lot of people that feel that way. But one thing that's really important about the Epic of Rin is that in the middle of Rin explaining everything that he is going through with the curse, because that's Rin's go-to, is to feel like the curse is the reason this is all happening to me. The curse is the reason God has given up on our people and given up on me, and the reason why we're facing destruction is because we are under a curse and he doesn't need us, he doesn't want us, and we're supposed to be removed from existence. And I feel like God comes specifically to Ren at the lowest point when he feels like God, everything in the data, everything out there is proven that legitimately he has no right to live. And every curse that was put upon every person that said you don't have a right to be here, that I'm better, has been proven right. And Zeus does that. Even Zeus, being one who's a Nephilim, Zeus says that what has happened to you in your nation, your country, is evidence that God doesn't want you. And that obviously I am better than you. I know what I'm doing. At least I am choosing to stand up and fight back, which is what God must have designed us to do. You are choosing to try and be right, even if it costs you your life. And obviously, look where that got you. Got you nowhere. You lost your whole country. Everyone is gone. God comes to him at that point and confirms with him that he has a righteous purpose for Rin. And he's going to do something with Rin's brokenness and his nation's brokenness he could never have done without that brokenness. And I think that it goes to show that even though Rin, and truth be told, Rin is a Nephilim, his kind are not supposed to go forward after the flood. So there are some things that do not change about the curse. Just like you and me, we're under a curse of death. And our bodies are not meant to. We cannot live past death. However, what is extremely important is that God has reached down and broken that curse where it counts. And God breaks that curse to give us eternal life. And he reaches down, he pulls Ren out of despair, uses him for an incredible purpose. And then there's this implication later on in the story that God, if he cares about his children, and because he cares about his children enough, he will ensure that they continue on. He will ensure that they'll continue in companionship with him. And Rin starts to figure that out as the story goes. But it's just important to realize, Rin is under a curse. The curse is real, but the curse does not have to define Rin. And it doesn't have to be the end of the story. It'll serve a noble purpose that brings righteousness back on the earth in a way that has not been brought before. And I think that's just absolutely incredible. Now, at this point, I've only come out with book 1, so you guys have no idea what's going to happen in book 2, 3, or 4. You have no idea how this is going to turn out. We'll say, giving any spoiler alerts away, that things are not going to stay like this. And there is going to be justice, and there is going to be righteousness done, and it's going to be something way bigger than what even Rin thought was possible in the old order of the blood determines everything. And you're going to find out in the Epic of Rin, the blood does not determine everything. The blood determines very, very little. There are things that are set forward in the blood that you can't stop. Just like in our flesh, like we can't stop the corruption. Like we cannot be perfect. So there are things that we can't stop. But God works through those, and he works with those. He doesn't just make them go away. Obviously, we still get sick. Tragedy still happens. People still make mistakes. I make mistakes. I feel that the curse I put on myself every day from the mistakes I make is a curse that I've lived with, but God teaches me to forgive myself of that, to alleviate myself of that, because I don't need to live under the curse. The curse is the curse does not have to hold us down. It does not have to be the final say. And at the end of the day, at the end of all eternity, God alleviates the curse because the curse is broken through Jesus Christ. And that's something that you're going to see in the Epic of Rin, is that, yes, Rin feels the reality of the curse upon his people, upon his nation, and he feels the reality upon the curse on his blood. But God does not make the curse the final word. God will use his blood and will use who he is to do what is right. And that's a lesson for all of us, to make sure that we know that no matter what we've done, no matter what family we come from, and ethnicity, or whatever we've done, no matter what the world does, no matter what anything happens, whatever our lineage, our past is, God breaks the curse. And God can do whatever he wants with who we are. Just like he did with Rin. He can do amazing things. From any position of utter brokenness, he can do what he needs to. So we must trust God. Trust God to do what he needs to. Trust God that he has the world, everyone's interest in mind, that he's a loving father, and he will not allow the curse to be the final say. Imperfections and all, and bad decisions and all, what is he going to do with it? From where you are, where you're standing now, what is God going to do with it? Just like with Rin. He was broken. He was at his worst point. Everything had been lost. He felt like he'd failed his country. He felt like he failed his people. Everything was gone. And God inserted himself at that point, right there, where there was nothing left to redeem. And he redeemed it. That's my message for you guys today. That's my thought on the Epic of Rin. I hope you see more of that lesson as the book goes on, the series goes on. Through number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, you're going to see this beautiful story painted.